America, the country of free choice and independence. But there's an underlying factor that influences the choice that we as individuals make, a driving force that in turn makes the decisions for us. Technology. It knows us better than we know ourselves, tracking our shopping, browsing, and streaming habits. It knows our deepest and darkest secrets. Every day, people sign up for newsletters, scour the internet for smartphone and tech rumor sites. What already exists is never enough. Today, we're looking through 70 years of technology and how it's influenced our privacy and attention. We're going to sift through decades of technological advancements and how they've changed daily life as humans knew and know it. We found one artifact per decade, which points to the fact that the world is going to be taken over by robots. And by we, I mean I, because there is no one else here with me, because I'm alone. According to history.nasa.gov, the world's first artificial satellite was launched in 1957. Sputnik, as the Soviets named it, was no larger than a beach ball. Although it wasn't capable of crazy sci-fi things like tracking human locations or being able to listen in on any conversation, it was the beginning of a revolution, the space race between the US and the Soviet Union. In 1969, the very first computer network was formed, shown by an image from DARPA. The US Department of Defense's Advanced Research Projects Agency sent the very first computerized message on October 29th. It was sent from UCLA to Stanford, and although it was intended to say login, the only two letters that were received were L and O. Still, nothing terribly impressive at all by today's standards, but it certainly opened up Pandora's box and led to how we use the internet today. I mean, the name itself shows that. It went from ARPANET to the internet. Emails, controversy, and invasion of privacy, I mean, these three things go hand in hand, right? One thing that shocked me was when I learned that the email was created before the internet was. I mean, that's kind of crazy. I mean, when you think about it, the way that we use email, you log into your computer, pull up your internet browser, and then you hop onto your email site, whether it's Gmail, AOL, Yahoo, etc. So logically, the internet should predate email, right? It's like the chicken came before the egg. Anyways, stated by TychosKnows.com, the first email was sent in 1971 over the ARPANET. It's nowhere to be found because the contents of it were never saved. I find it ironic that Hillary Clinton's day-to-day boring emails, tens of thousands of them, were saved and published, when something with that much historical value, like the very first email that was ever sent, was just thrown in the trash. Thanks to an article from rewindmuseum.com, the first ever camcorder was invented in 1983, the Sony BMC 100P. That is such a cool name. Although the footage that it captured was absolutely horrendous, this was an ingenious invention and has led to people like me being able to film videos like this without having to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. This invention's meaning is much more important than the model itself. I mean, the second that digital cameras became available and affordable for the average consumer, privacy issues regarding filming and photos became a much more prevalent issue than ever. Random people now have the power to walk down the street to your house and film whatever they wanted. The first gunshots that started the 90s crypto war were the Clipper chip and a key escrow system. The chip, which could be inserted into consumer hardware telephones, granted law enforcement and intelligence agencies access to phone call communications. The key escrow was the system that allowed for unlimited access. Although both artifacts are exactly that, relics collecting dust in a museum somewhere, we still don't have a guarantee of safe and private information. Today, there are much more advanced and remote ways that can result in a breach of our privacy. It's scary shit. On January 9th of 2007, the very first iPhone was announced. This revolutionary device forever changed the way we see and use tech today. We were granted a pocket-sized computer that opened the gates to communication, the internet, and so much more. Well, I wasn't granted it because I didn't get my first phone until I pretty much got my driver's license. And ever since 2007, smartphones have completely captured our attention, pulling us away from our families, relationships, and even the present moment. Smartphone addiction is a hidden issue for many. There are plenty of ways that you can set yourself up for success when it comes to minimizing distractions with your smartphone, but that is a video for a later date. Diving into the 2010s, I would like to show you a brief clip from the hit TV show Parks and Recreation.
There are these things called cookies.
Seems like an invasion of privacy.
Dude, if you think that's bad, go to Google Earth and type in your address.
Although Parks and Rec takes an ironic approach to commenting on how privacy issues plague our devices, there have been numerous events where our private information becomes available to foreign governments and individuals. Creepy individuals, not the good guys. China's TikTok uses a combination of audio and browser tracking, making it, as Reddit CEO Steve Huffman quotes, fundamentally parasitic. Russia's Face app, allowing users to add or remove years to their face, stores every photo on company servers. And in South Korea, my homeland, after 2015 with their MERS outbreak, I was actually in the country for that, and I actually got a fever when I was in the country halfway through that outbreak. I was at a Pizza Hut, and me and my adopted family, we thought I was gonna die in the place that I was born, which would have been kind of ironic. Following MERS, Korea developed and changed some laws to allow for more aggressive contact tracing, giving the government access to citizens' credit card records, cell phone GPS data, bank info, and CCTV security cameras. Since authorities have warrantless access to users' private data, they've been able to retrace the steps of any individuals who have been confirmed to have COVID-19 and quickly quarantine them and any whom they may have come in contact with. Privacy can be invaded by other users, software development companies, and even planted devices that track sensitive information. However, there is another huge way that technology has breached our privacy. Simply the existence and convenience that smartphones offer us make it way too easy to allow them to hijack our dinners, vacations, and lives.
You can tell me something they did today.
I drew a horsey.
Good for you, son.
I started smoking.
I love you too, sweetheart.
This photo was taken while I was up north with my family, and I think it really says a lot. You can clearly see the beautiful nature and the lake surrounding me. Despite all that, I'm completely captivated by my screen. I'm sure you, or maybe even someone you know, are guilty of being on your phone too much. I mean, when you think about it, the two things that we have the biggest amount of control over as individuals are where we choose to put our time and attention and what things we choose to keep private. In many ways, you could argue that we've really given those decisions to Apple Inc., Samsung, Sony, and other tech companies, the devices that are here and the stuff that is yet to come. I'm not trying to offer up any crazy conspiracy theories, but given the historical context of how technology has evolved so rapidly, we, as human beings, haven't changed one bit in an evolutionary sense. So maybe try and be a little more intentional about where you're putting your time, your attention, and what things you want to keep private. Thank you for spending your time with me, and we'll see you guys in the next video.